Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, today we are absolutely leveling up your Excel skills. If you spend any significant amount of your week staring at endless rows and columns, well, this is exactly where you need to be. We're going to completely transform how you navigate, format, and just generally command your data by unlocking the hidden power of your keyboard.
So I want you to really think about this for a second. How much time do you actually waste clicking? Seriously, imagine the countless hours lost over the course of a year, just grabbing your mouse, dragging that cursor all the way across massive spreadsheets, aiming for some tiny little button on the ribbon, clicking, and then dragging it all the way back. You know, it breaks your focus, and frankly, it just slows you down.
Using the mouse is, by its very nature, slow and tedious. It requires physical travel time across your desk and your screen. But using shortcuts? Oh man, it's instant. It's effortless. Honestly, it's the closest thing we have to digital teleportation. When your hands never leave the keyboard, your workflow just becomes this uninterrupted stream of productivity. And that right there is the massive value we're unlocking for you today.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for the Explainer. We've kind of gamified this journey. First, we'll hit the magic of shortcuts. Then move up to Level 1, Everyday Essentials. From there, Level 2, Ribbon and Formatting, and Level 3, Rapid Navigation. Then we conquer the ultimate Excel power moves, before finally celebrating your new superpowers. Starting off with Section 1, the magic of shortcuts. Memorizing these is literally like gaining an instant superpower for your daily workflow. Moving right into Section 2, Level 1, Everyday Essentials. We're starting right at the foundation here with the basic commands every single user needs.
Because look, every master has to start with the fundamentals, right? These are the commands you need locked into your muscle memory, your absolute bread and butter. We're talking copying with Control-C, pasting with Control-V, and that total lifesaver, undo with Control-Z. But don't forget the file management shortcuts too. Control-S to save, Control-W to instantly close the spreadsheet, and Control-O to open a new one. By grouping these everyday essentials together, you can quickly manage your files and basic data entry without ever needing to even look at your mouse.
All right, let's level up. Section 3, Level 2, Ribbon and Formatting.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how we take control of Excel's massive formatting menus. The Alt key is your master switch here. The second you press it, you unlock these direct hidden paths to every single tab on the ribbon. Need the Home tab? Just hit Alt-H. Inserting something? Alt-N. Page layout is Alt-P, data is Alt-A, view is Alt-W, and the Formula tab is Alt-M. It's basically like having a secret VIP pass to completely bypass those clunky navigation menus.
And this brilliantly illustrates what happens next. Once you trigger that Alt key, complex mouse clicks turn into these lightning-fast 1-2-3 combo strikes. So, to center align your cell contents, you just hit Alt-H for the Home tab, then A for alignment, then C for center. Boom, boom, boom. 3 quick taps and it's done. You can do the exact same thing for borders with Alt-H, then B, or drop in a fill color with Alt-H, then H.
Okay, moving right along to Section 4, Level 3, Rapid Navigation. This is where we slice through thousands of rows of data in the absolute blink of an eye.
First up here is sheet hopping. When you're dealing with a workbook that has, say, a dozen different tabs, trying to click those tiny little tabs at the very bottom of the screen is just frustrating. Instead, hold Control and tap Page down to jump to the next sheet, or Control Page up to jump to the previous one. Flipping between massive sheets is suddenly a total breeze.
Now, simply pressing the Tab key lets you rapidly shift one cell over to the right. But there's actually a fantastic secondary use here. If you're working in a protected worksheet, hitting Tab perfectly jumps you right between the unlocked cells. It is absolutely incredible for filling out standardized forms quickly. Let's see how this builds, because if Tab moves you forward to the right, how do you go back? Well, you just add the Shift key. Hitting Shift plus Tab moves you to the previous cell in a worksheet or even the previous option in a dialog box. It's literally the exact reverse gear for your Tab key. All right, here we go. Section 5, Ultimate Excel Power Moves. We have officially reached the boss level, folks. These moves are going to make you look like pure magic to an untrained eye. Before we drop the actual shortcuts, let's establish a really quick definition so we know exactly what we're bypassing. The context menu is simply that list of specific options that pops up when you right-click an item with your mouse. But guess what? You can summon this menu instantly by just hitting Shift plus F10. Or, hey, if your keyboard happens to have one, just press the dedicated context key. You get all the power of the right click completely without the right click.
Now, this next one is an absolute lifesaver. Please, I'm begging you, stop scrolling for minutes on end just to find the bottom of your dataset. Instead, use Control plus any arrow key to instantly jump straight to the absolute edge of your current data region.
And here's an alternative way to teleport, entering End mode. If you press End and then an arrow key, it moves you to the next non-blank cell in that same column or row. Or, if the cells are blank, it shoots you all the way to the last cell in that direction.
So the crucial point here is this. If you ever need to find the absolute bottom right corner of your used worksheet, the lowest used row of the rightmost used column, you don't need to scroll and guess. Just hit Control plus End, and boom, you are there instantly. Let's build up to the grand finale selection tool. If you take that previous command and just add the Shift key, making it Control plus Shift plus End, you instantly extend your selection to highlight absolutely everything from your current cell all the way down to that last used lower right cell. Hands down, it is the fastest way to grab an entire table of data. We'll throw in one final, slightly surprising trick here. If you ever find yourself completely lost in a massive sheet and your scroll lock is turned on, simply hit Home plus Scroll Lock. That will immediately jump your view right back to the cell in the upper left corner of the window. And that brings us to Section 6, your new superpowers. Congratulations on hitting max level.
By replacing all those tedious mouse movements with these rapid keyboard strikes, you're reclaiming massive amounts of wasted time and basically supercharging your entire workflow. So, I want to leave you with a challenge. Which shortcut are you going to try in your very next spreadsheet? Look, don't try to memorize them all at once. Just pick one or two, maybe those Alt ribbon triggers or the Control arrow teleportation, and force yourself to leave the mouse alone today. Once you feel that kind of speed, no way you'll ever want to go back. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy spreadsheeting!